Since Jujutau Kaisen has just ended with its third season going on to a fourth next year, I decided, you know what, let's talk about it. This video is a different video I have ever done because of the fact that I've never talked about anime on this channel or anywhere on the internet. And I think I literally just started anime, so that's why I'm going to try to talk about it more after when I finish more series. I literally just started, I believe, with Attack on Titan, and Jujutau Kaisen was my second ever anime I've ever watched. Before I start the video, I'm going to say sorry to you guys. I stutter a lot. I just want to let you guys know before I start the video so you guys don't get annoyed later on. And I talk super fast. Right now, I'm just going to give you like my non-spoiler thoughts on it. Basically like how I thought about it and all that stuff without getting anything away. I thought it was a very good season. Do I believe it's better than season 2? No, 100% not. Season 2 is like a perfect season, in my opinion. There's two, like obviously season 2 had two arcs, Hidden Inventory and Shibuya Incident. Shibuya Incident was 100% amazing. Hidden Inventory was good also. I do believe this is better than season 1 of Jujutau Kaisen. I don't know if there's a hot take or not. I do love the calling games aspect. One thing I did not like about it is they're splitting this calling games into 2 seasons instead of just part 1 and part 2 of season 3. I thought they would do that and end it with like 24 episodes like I think they did with season 2 and season 1, but this one only has 12 episodes, which very short season for anime, I believe. Because every other anime I've watched has at least had like 24 episodes in it. Have not watched any of the long animes like Dragon Ball yet, Naruto or all. But yeah, this season definitely felt very short. A lot of the stuff was rushed, I felt, because I've never read a manga, but I felt the Yuta fight was kind of rushed a little. I wish they did cut that a little bit longer. They could at least done like maybe a 1 hour episode or like a little bit longer, maybe 45 minutes episode. But in general, this season was a good season of anime. The first thing I want to address in this spoiler review is the calling games. I did not believe the calling games needed a whole episode. I believe that threw off the pacing a little, especially since we only had like 12 episodes this season. But I think this is the shortest season of Jujutau Kaisen because I think every other season had like 12 episodes. Not 12 episodes, 24 episodes. But other than that, I believe that like you could explain it more like they did with other stuff in the past, like their techniques. You can explain it when the season goes more forward and all that. But that's just my opinion. I don't know how people think. Megami was also a big part of the season. I know I'm not a manga reader. I have only watched the anime. I'm gonna start getting into the manga soon. I asked for I think the first 5 volumes for my birthday. But I do know after this part of the calling games, I think people say Megami becomes a fraud. I don't know why. Obviously, because I haven't read it. I know what Jujutau Kaisen fandom calls a lot of people frauds. They call one person a fraud. Yuta a fraud. I don't get that either. I like Yuta. I don't know if it's controversial to say or not. Me personally, I like him. His episode was generally amazing. One thing I was surprised about with this whole season was Yuji barely appearing. I do know Hikari in part 2 of Calling Games will have a lot more fights. We haven't seen him that much. I think we've only seen him like a couple times, like 1 to 2 times on screen, which is kind of like not bad, but I wanted to see more of him. Thank goodness we're seeing more of him in season part 2 of Calling Games, season 4. Because I want to see more of his technique and what he can do. Because we've seen a little in a little fight with Yuji, but we have barely saw it in that fight. Because the only fight we've seen was his girlfriend, I forgot her name, versus Panda and Megami, with obviously the big play by Megami throwing the rabbit in the air and him touching the 3rd star. Now, I watched the first part of the season and dubbed in the second half and subbed. Because by the time I was catching up with Jujutau Kaisen, I think half the episodes were already in dubbed. I would say that I do prefer dub in some voice actors, but others I prefer in subbed. Higuruma's, for example, I like in subbed better than dubbed. But I haven't heard Yuji in subbed yet. Megami, I think I prefer better in dubbed. I know Yuji, obviously, does the dub for, not Higuruma, I forgot the other guy, right? I forgot his name. He does the dub for him. Which Yuji, I don't know how to feel about that. He is very good voice actor, right? But I don't know if he really sounds like the guy, you know. I feel like when I hear him, I hear Spider-Man. I know a lot of people hear, I think he was a character in Naruto. A lot of people hear him from Naruto. But me personally, I hear him as Spider-Man because that's the only thing I've seen him as. Or Ben 10, obviously. Now, I've talked about it a lot for this, but I think this deserves its own section to talk about. Is the animation in this. The animation just proves that Mappa is the GOAT of animation. I've watched most of my animes I've watched, I think, has been Mappa. Because I watched, my first ever anime I watched was JJK, then I watched Jujutau Kaisen, then I watched Chainsaw Man. In the movies with that, so yeah, that's true. Most of the animes I've watched is made by Mappa, but Mappa generally has the best animation probably anime can have. The last episode with Yuta was generally amazing animation. I know a lot of people are saying, like I've seen for this recent episode, is how can I watch this, then go back to Invincible, which obviously Jujutau Kaisen has a lower budget than Invincible, which is surprising. But my main argument to that is Invincible spends most of their budget on actors. I'm not gonna get into that because it's a Jujutau Kaisen episode, but yeah, in general, they spend most of their budget on voice actors. With this, studio spends most of their budget obviously on the animation. But in general, with all the stuff I had just said, I believe that Jujutau Kaisen has some flaws, but it's still very good and consistent throughout every season. I believe there's only one true bad episode of Jujutau Kaisen, and that's obviously the one about the calling games. But if I would have to give it a score, I would probably give it a 9 out of 10. Thank you for watching my video. If you can give my video a like and subscribe. Obviously you can see this very low resolution video I'm recording on my phone. For when I start my job as a Jiffy Lube for a ticket taker, I probably will obviously get mangas, but main thing I want to focus on is a camera, probably for YouTube videos. I'm gonna try to make more YouTube videos as I can. I still have to graduate right now because I'm literally about to graduate high school in about literally a month, basically in May. So that's what we focus on right now. Then YouTube. Then after that, probably during the summer, more YouTube videos will come out before I start college. Thank you very much, and see you next time if you guys subscribe on my channel.